Classical alchemy emerged in ancient Egypt and medieval Europe as a dual-purpose study. On the surface, practitioners worked with heat and minerals to turn base metals like lead into noble gold. These early alchemists appeared to be chasing material wealth and a physical elixir that could grant immortality. For those initiated into esoteric traditions, however, the chemical formulas served as a hidden metaphorical code. This discipline is known as spiritual alchemy. It is a philosophical framework that uses the refining of metals to describe the purification of the human soul and the elevation of consciousness. Psychologist Carl Jung founded analytical psychology, a field focused on the individual psyche and its quest for wholeness, and he saw these texts as blueprints for the mind. Jung interpreted the lead as our ego and limiting beliefs, while gold represented the achievement of self-realization through the integration of the personality. This interpretation views alchemy as a difficult psychological journey. It requires a person to systematically break down their mental structures and rebuild them into a more stable, conscious state. The process begins with calcination. This represents the fiery breakdown of the ego and the destruction of rigid pride that prevents personal growth. Following the fire is dissolution, where we confront the shadow self. In psychology, the shadow consists of the repressed or hidden parts of our personality that we often prefer to ignore. This internal cleansing mirrors universal traditions that use physical elements like water or smoke to signify a fresh spiritual start. We see this in the practice of bathing in the sacred Ganges River, a ritual intended to wash away spiritual impurities and sins. Native American traditions utilize smudging ceremonies, where the smoke of burning herbs like sage is used to clear negative energy from an individual. These traditions suggest that confronting our internal flaws and clearing away the base ego is a necessary step before any new growth can take root. The journey moves to separation, a stage of discernment. Here, we isolate our authentic values from the non-essential desires and social conditioning that usually clutter the mind. These refined parts of ourselves are then brought together in conjunction. This is the integration of our conscious thoughts with our deeper unconscious emotions. Jung described this internal merging as individuation, the lifelong psychological process of uniting all the conflicting parts of the psyche into a single functioning whole. This diagram illustrates the chakra system. While Jung used modern psychological terms, ancient traditions mapped this same inner integration through these 7 energy centers. This system provides a spatial framework for aligning our basic survival needs with our capacity for insight. In this model, the lower centers manage our security and ego, while the upper centers must be activated to access intuition and spiritual awareness. Alchemical meditation and visualization serve as the practical bridge between these states, allowing a person to still the mind and connect their lower instincts with higher consciousness. This suggests that inner peace comes from consciously aligning our primal nature with our higher purposes, rather than trying to suppress our instincts entirely. The final stages are fermentation and distillation. This is a period of spiritual rebirth where a person refines their character to achieve consistent clarity. Historical alchemists used rigorous contemplative prayer and mindfulness to reach this state of mental refinement. The process concludes with coagulation. This is the stage where the internal transformation solidifies and the new, enlightened character becomes a permanent part of the individual's life. The journey moves the individual from a lead state of fear and ignorance to a gold state defined by wisdom and compassion. You can apply this framework today through self-reflection and journaling, acting as the architect of your own character. The alchemical quest culminates in an evolved human consciousness, which provides the clarity and compassion needed to influence the world through the strength of one's own character.